How's it going, everybody? Chadley here, and today we are updating our Frosted Flak. This is our Cryo Rakk based flak build, and this thing got a little insane. I was pretty happy with it before turning level 57, but now that we're level 57 and have new gear from the DLC, it's absolutely insane. If you guys saw any gameplay during that opening montage of the Takedown, it was true Takedown, I promise you, it was all on stream. And then if you guys saw a Hyper Focus, that one is level 53. Everything else I have is 57, but this one is still 53, and you guys can see how much damage a level 53 version still does with this build. It's a little insane. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the gear. Now first off, you guys are going to want a Cryo Redistributor with 100% ASE. In the original one, we had 100% rack, but now with this amazing takedown event with all the loot that's being dropped, especially with the co-op thing added on top of it, you guys are getting so much loot. Right now is the time to farm up and stock up on all the takedown gear. Definitely get to it because it's only here until April 2nd. But yeah, so go ahead and try to get your hands on one of these. And then after that, a Hyper Focus is definitely a very, very strong choice. Personally, one of my favorite guns. And then you're going to want 100% rack attack on that just so you can deal insane amounts of damage. 100% ASE will work, but rack attack is going to do more. Then probably one of my favorite guns from the new DLC is the Clairvoyance. This thing just shreds. It's absolutely insane. I made a video covering it the other day, so if you want to know more about this gun, definitely go check that out. Otherwise, you're going to want one of these with rack attack, and ideally, you're probably going to want one with about 8 to 10 in the mag. That's usually the highest damaging rolls on it. And a lot of people like masher versions. I'm still pretty torn because the mashers shoot a lot slower than these single shot ones. So they technically do more damage per shot, but if you're using it for bosses like we normally do, they're very comparable. You guys can use either or. I'm going to stick with the little bit faster fire rate on the single shot versions, but if you guys like the mashers, go ahead and use those. And then finally, I have the Love Drill. This is another new pistol from the DLC. This thing's a ton of fun, does a ton of damage. If you guys don't like this gun, because I know a lot of people don't with the sights on this thing, it has the diamond and it's like kind of tough to see down those sights. If you guys don't like that and you just want like the easiest time possible in the takedown, just throw on a Scourge. With a Scourge, you can clear mobbing sections and stuff like that. And these will definitely cover all of your bosses more than fine. This is the main things I use anyways, but I do like using this on Valkyries and the opening of Wotan's shield. But that's just me. If you guys just want a super, super easy time, just throw on a Scourge. And then for our shield, in the original one, we had a Frozen Heart. Now, I'm just going to throw on a Transformer just because it's the best shield for surviving, and Rakk Flak is definitely the squishiest flak out there. And with one gear change between the original version and this version, it makes us even squishier. So we're going to need this Transformer to make up for that. I originally had the Frozen Heart just to fit with the Cryo theme, and it was also a good shield, but mainly to fit the Cryo theme. Now we're just going to go with the Transformer because that is our best bet. And then for our grenade, just any bonus elements, whatever one you need to match with. I like its piss just so we can do more damage on people. We are still using a Cosmic Stalker because I'm a huge, huge fan of this class mod. It does not get enough love. You can get some insane damage going, especially in the takedown where even during boss fights, there's always enemies to fight. So you can have Interplanetary Stalker max and it just ends up dealing a ton of damage. Now, one of the biggest changes from the original to this one is the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge. This artifact is insane. It's probably the best artifact in the game right now. If you guys don't know what it does, basically it looks like it says it's going to do 35% more damage, but it ends up being double damage once you get up to the max stacks, which is actually 16. It does like 1 point whatever percent per stack, so you'll get 16% there, and then but whatever. This thing destroys. And if you guys can get one with magazine size on it, I definitely recommend that. And also going with magazine size, definitely get a higher magazine size on your redistributor if possible. You're gonna be doing enough damage anyways. You don't need the high damage roll. And most of the time, if you guys go down, it's gonna be because you're reloading and you can't kill the enemies that are right in front of you. So just keep that in mind. But obviously if you get a 27 like me, it works perfectly fine. You guys can roll with that. But otherwise, this Pearl is stupid nice for dealing damage. And you guys might be saying you really need movement speed. And if you guys really want movement speed, there is a Snowdrift auto idle in here. Definitely works fine. You guys still do damage, but you don't get like that insane damage that this thing can help you put out. And during the Wotan fight anyways, if you die, most of the time it's because you get cryoed. And when you get cryoed, you can't even use the Snowdrift. You can't slide. So that's kind of my reasoning for sticking with the Pearl, but if you guys want to use the Snowdrift, definitely go for it. But otherwise, that's going to be our gear. And for backup gear, Queen's Call, always good option. I like to keep some Cutsmans for breaking legs. Boom Sickle is always good, and the Lob is obviously always insane. Even a level 53 version is still going to go nuts, but obviously we got this 57 with Rakk Attack here. If you guys don't like the Love Drill, Scourge or Lob, definitely good options. Flacker is pretty fun with Rakk Attack. And a Lump is definitely not a bad option. And there's also the Unseen Threat and stuff like that are always fun to use. But that's all our gear, so let's go ahead and jump into our skills super fast. We're going to start here in the Hunter skill tree. We're going to go 3 Leave No Trace, and 5 Interplanetary Stalker, 5 Hunter's Eye, 3 Head Count, 5 into 2 Fang, 3 into Big Game, and 3 into Most Dangerous Game, 1 into Galactic Shadow, and 1 into Megavore. And obviously we are using racks. And in the original one, I had the Cryo Rakks for the Cryo theme. But now that we are even more squishy, we're going to need Falconer's Feast. As much as I hate this augment and how little it does, it's better than nothing at this point for us. So I am going to put on Falconer's Feast. And then we're going to have Flock and Load for the additional racks. Now, I tested the difference between the Spider Ant Scorcher for the elemental damage and health regen versus the Great Horn Skag that we're using right now. And the Great Horn Skag is still going to give you more damage on all of your guns, and especially if you guys are using normal damage guns like the Love Drill, you're going to get way more damage out of the Great Horn Skag. But if you're just using elemental weapons, the damage difference is very small, and you still get that 3% health regen. So if you guys want a little bit more survivability, just ever so slightly, throw on the Spider Ant Scorcher, but I personally like the damage, and I just play not as aggressive. I don't run right into the middle of all the enemies. We're rack flak, we're very squishy. Kill them as they come and be smart as you're playing. But moving on to our master skill tree, 3 into Persistence Hunter, 1 to the pet skills just to get us down to the 2nd tier, 5 into Frenzy, 1 into He Bites because this will proc Frenzy for us, and 4 into Who Rescued Who for keeping your pet alive, and also your pet can kind of help you out as well. Obviously not that much because it is a pet. And then Great Horn Skag, like I said, is definitely your best damaging option. 5 points into Barbaric Yawp for the pet bonus to boost that even more. 3 points into Pack Tactics because the skill ends up being a ton of damage. 1 point into Shared Spirit for staying alive a little bit better. And then finally, with our last 2 points, I like Furious Attack just because it's definitely the best option for as much damage that we can get out of 2 skill points. If you guys want a little bit more health, you can do Self-Repairing System. If you guys want fast reload, you can put those 2 into Second Intention. It's completely up to you. But yeah, that's definitely my recommendation for the skill tree here. So we're just gonna go through as part of the true takedown, and we do have enemy fire rate and shield grenade melee damage, so nothing is gonna be helping us out. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the gate, and I can walk you through how I play this build. Alright, so here at the gate, and like I said, this is true takedown, and things still die very, very, very fast. Now, the first thing you're gonna want to do, especially in true takedown, but this is even in normal takedown, what you guys are gonna want to do is take out the jetpack guys first after you kill these opening guards and stuff like that. But you're definitely going to want to take out these jetpack guys. They by far deal the most damage. I like to just use the hyper focus on them. This gun is very accurate and deals a lot of damage. Once they like to hold still is normally your best bet to take them out, just like that. You can also kind of get them to stop moving if you can land those first couple initial shots. But otherwise, just go ahead and pull out the redistributor, and you guys can just melt through kind of these mobbing sections. Also, on True Takedown, sometimes the death spheres get very annoying because they do like to snipe you. Pull out the hyper focus and you can melt through them real quick. I'm gonna do that because they have kind of bit me in the butt a couple times. So if you guys notice, I'm not running right into the middle of this opening area and trying to shoot everybody. You're going to die doing that. Flak is a squishy character. You guys are just gonna have to accept that. It's not Zane or Amara, where you can just run right in the middle and have all the lifesteal in the world. So please, play smart with it. He does a lot of damage, but he's also squishy. So something to keep in mind, we are wearing the Transformers, so shock heavies are kind of your best friend, especially in True Takedown. If you keep them alive, they can help you out. They'll throw down these little Tesla triangles, and you can just run through them, get your shield back instantly. So definitely keep that in mind, especially during the bridge section. There's a ton of heavies when you first get up there, and it can really bail you out. Okay, we're at the Kraken, and if you guys just run right in there, you're probably gonna go down, but you're also gonna kill the Kraken. So I normally just kind of live with going down right here for the most part. Sometimes you can get out unscathed. Otherwise, I don't know why I wasn't using a hyper focus right there. That was on me. But otherwise, if you hit the Kraken with the with your racks and then pull out the hyper focus, it's gonna instantly die. Otherwise, pull out the redistributor and clean up everybody else. All right, we made it to Valkyries. I ended up blowing myself up with a grenade. So that's why there's some legendaries on the ground right now. But otherwise, we're just gonna go use the redistributor for their immune phases. Hopefully he'll go soon here. Otherwise, just use your racks on all the enemies. Focus the strongest guys of each group that spawns, and you'll, for the most part, be good to go. Some of these groups do kind of do some work. The dogs are probably the hardest group to face. Otherwise, I do like the love drill the most for these Valkyries when they do stop moving, and my frames actually don't do that. But otherwise, once you can actually line up those crits, you're going to basically almost instantly get them to their immune phases, which is really nice. And for these war dogs, the hyper focus is probably your best bet. It just kind of shreds through them with zero issues at all. I'm gonna finish up this guy before I fight the Valkyrie, and then I'll just use this on him, and he'll just go immune, just like that. And then when there's lots of enemies, you can just use the redistributor still, and you will almost insta kill these guys. And then if they're solo, you can use the hyper focus, you can use the clairvoyance. It doesn't really matter. But the hyper focus is definitely one of the best damaging ones. And just like that, we're through True Takedown Valkyries. Okay guys, like always, that is going to end this build video. I just want to give you guys a couple tips moving forward in the takedown. I just don't want to do the whole thing. Also, this video will be way too long. So for the bridge, just take it slow, use the redistributor, and you'll fly through all the mobs. And once the death spheres start spawning, focus them, pull out your hyper focus, and just shoot them as they're coming out of those little holes at the end of the bridge, and you guys should be fine. Just like I said, play it slow. We're very squishy. We're a Rakk flak, and we don't even have an auto idol anymore. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching this build video. If you guys found this video helpful, or you enjoy this build, make sure to leave a thumbs up on it to let me know. It really helps me out. If you guys want to see more build videos or in general Borderlands 3 content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to have Flak Nukem and White Death Flak being updated here within the next couple days, so stay tuned. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy Frosted Flak as much as I do. He deals stupid amounts of damage, absolutely stupid amounts of damage, and it's just overall a good time. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.